The very first touchdown of his New England Patriots career. First to Stephon Diggs. It was a long time coming. It was also a long time coming. Was just how good the Patriots win got after rewatching it, looking back over the PFF grades were released. And I'm going to tell you guys 2 reasons why this win is 100 times better. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. Already got you a video out today, but I thought it'd be a double dose. So if you're hyped that we are in our 5th straight win, if you're hyped for that 5th straight win, go ahead, smash that thumbs up icon, like the video. Let's show all of YouTube that we are the most liked Patriots video on the whole entire platform. Hit that thumbs up icon. First thing I want to talk about is the offensive line. And we know that Myles Garrett absolutely dominated yesterday's game. And who is he going up against? Well, most of the time it was Will Campbell. But Will Campbell was not that bad going through and looking back at every single snap and everything he did on Sunday's games. I mean, Myles Garrett was absolutely incredible on Sunday. 6 tackles, 5 sacks. It was the most sacks that was allowed by a single player in Patriots history. 8 pressures and 1 forced fumble on one of the strip sacks. But for Will Campbell, I mean, he did not play bad at all, specifically when he was going up against every other defender. It was, hey, he's going up against Myles Garrett, which is one of the best in the NFL. He really, really struggled against Myles Garrett. But when it came to every other player on the Browns team, he was perfect. He had 20 snaps in pass blocking where he was going up against a different edge rusher than Myles Garrett. 0 pressures, 0 sacks, a completely clean slate. He was perfect. And before that, he was perfect for the last 6 weeks. And here's what Mike Vrabel had to say on today's Monday's press conference about Will Campbell going up against Myles Garrett. It's always a challenge when you play Garrett, and it's hard to recreate that speed and type ability on the show team. Who do we have that does that? If we did, they wouldn't be on the show team. There were some good plays, good blocks, patience, closing in on space, did a good job in the run game, and then some plays that he'd like to have back. And I think that's what happened. I think Will's going to keep practicing and improving and continuing to help us. And I will say, they all want to talk about how Will Campbell struggled in yesterday's game. Myles Garrett was eaten. But when you look at the PFF grades that released, it was Will Campbell and Jarrett Wilson on the left side that were the best out of all of the offensive linemen. Garrett Bradbury had a rough game. Mike Owenu had a rough game. Morgan Moses had a really, really rough game. But if you see from Will Campbell and Jarrett Wilson, Will Campbell had the best PFF grade for pass blocking for tackles, and he went up against Myles Garrett most of the time. The chipping, what they were trying to do with Hunter Henry just didn't work. And you saw in the second half, because Myles Garrett had 4 sacks in the first half. Going into the second, he only had 1. So whatever the Patriots did at halftime to adjust that, they saw it wasn't working. They adjusted, and he kindly quieted down during the second half. He was still an absolute beast on the defensive line, but there's a reason why the Patriots were only up 9-7 at halftime and then ended up winning 32-13 with a garbage time touchdown in the fourth quarter to end that game. It's just what it is. It is what it is. It's a learning experience for Will Campbell. I'm glad he got to go up against an amazing edge rusher like Myles Garrett. You're going to go up against Hall of Fame type players in the NFL. And this was a learning experience. I would have rather had Will Campbell do that than go up against some scrub, because once the Patriots, they have a 90% chance to get to the playoffs. Going to have a playoff game this year. And if it's going to be at home at Gillette Stadium or on the road, wherever it's going to be, he's going to go up against one of the top rushers in the NFL, and I want him to have that experience now, so come January, it's going to be better. It's going to be better. I'm not concerned about him whatsoever. I'm completely okay with Myles Garrett eating. It happened. You get it over with, but everybody else that he went up against, he was perfectly fine. So if you're not worried about Will Campbell, go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon. Coming up on the back half of the show, going to be talking about the defense and specifically 2 players in the secondary. I think you guys know who they are, where the future is extremely bright for New England, and it's pretty much a lockdown corners at this point. But before we get into that, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. Excuse me. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money, even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones are overhyped. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Monday Night Football tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And I got the less on both Marcus Mariota and Patrick Mahomes. The less on both. I think it's going to be a big night for both defenses. You can make a lineup just like that one when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Let's talk about the secondary. And it's been a very, very quiet 5 games for Christian Gonzalez to start the 2025 NFL season. But when you hear about a cornerback being extremely quiet, that's because Christian Gonzalez has been absolutely perfect. We have the snaps against the Browns that comes from Carlos A. Lopez on Twitter, who's an amazing follow, as always. 38 coverage snaps, 4 targets, 1 catch allowed, 2 yards allowed, 3 pass breakups, 1 TFL, and 3 total tackles. He was absolutely perfect against the Cleveland Browns, and he's just been perfect this whole entire year. He's been a lockdown corner. And I think the funniest moment of yesterday's game was on 4th and 11 in the red zone, and for some reason the Browns tried to go with a fade to Gonzo, targeting him on 4th down. It didn't even come close. It did not come close whatsoever. GG's, guys. The fade to Gonzo on 4th down, that was comical. And that's just what happens when you go up against him. It's every single week in, week out. Yeah, well, you're going to have trouble while targeting Christian Gonzalez. And he's proven himself to be top 3, if not one of the best, and I mean best cornerbacks in this league. This is his total stats for the 2025 season. He's only been targeted 19 times. 19 times. They are not even going his way. 7 catches allowed. That's a 36.8 completion percentage. Hasn't allowed 100 yards yet. He only has 4 PBUs because they're not targeting him. 65.9 PFF grade, which I think should be a lot higher. 19 targets in about, I think it's 200 snaps. Yeah, 19 targets on 191 coverage snaps. The teams aren't even looking his way. They just know how good he is in the NFL, and they say, yeah, we're just not even going to try to throw it on Christian Gonzalez. We're just going to go to the opposite side. That's the reason why he's been so quiet in the NFL, because teams just aren't looking. That just proves how good he is, and he's become a lockdown defender. He's the best cornerback in football, in my opinion. I don't think there's anybody else that's better. Pat Surtain has struggled a little bit. Derek Stingley has struggled a little bit. And then you have Christian Gonzalez, who is really, really back to his ways. It took him a little bit coming back from that hamstring injury, but I think he's okay. And then we had to talk about the breakout candidate of the 2025 season, and he's playing his way into an all-pro. Guys, I mean, every single week in, week out, Marcus Jones impresses over and over and over. This comes from Patriots Communications. Only 6 players have logged 8 pass breakups and 4 tackles for losses in a 4-game span in a single season since 1999. And you can see those names on there. Those are a lot of really good players. And then you have Marcus Jones in 2025. His stats, he's played all 8 games this season, unlike Christian Gonzalez, and 36 tackles. They're targeting him a lot more than you see them targeting Gonzo. 2 interceptions, 9 pass breakups. And the big one, being in the slot corner, he has 6 tackles for loss. He is a ball hawk on the field. If they catch it behind the line of scrimmage, he doesn't miss the open field tackle. He is playing incredible. And the best part about it, he's 5'8". He's in a contract year, and he's playing himself to get absolutely paid. He's earning him a bag. So I want to say just extend him as soon as possible. If you could do it tomorrow, please do it. But once it gets to the offseason, because that's where it's going to happen, don't let him go away. Do not let this player get away. He's a perfect slot corner. And we don't even talk about that much. It's been so much of how he's been breaking out on defense. I don't talk about how good he is at punt returns. He's a special team specialist going on top of being that perfect slot corner, that nickel corner for the Patriots. So you have to expend him. And when you go and talk about Christian Gonzalez, you go and talk about Marcus Jones, there's so many more people on this defense. Robert Spillane had a great game yesterday, intercepting the ball. I mean, Kayvon Chason, Milton Williams, Christian Barmore. Every single one of those players are proving day in and day out that this defense is going to be something special. And it's just getting better and better each and every week. And it's proven to be one of the top 5 in the NFL. I'll ask you guys before we get on out of here. Do you think the Patriots need to extend Marcus Jones? Give me an E for extend. Or if you think, well, okay, whatever. Give me a P for pass. If you type a P for pass, I'm going to comment and I'm going to berate you on why. Why would you even do that? Why would you even do that? That's going to do it for the latest episode of Patriots Today by Chat Sports, second video of the day. So if you want coverage every single day, go ahead and hit that sub button right now. And as always, let's go Pats.